Welcome back to the Cine-Ops Podcast. What do you think? I look a little rough. I'm looking a little gruffy. A little gruff. How we looking? How we feel? How we feel? Welcome to the Cine-Ops Podcast. I'm Alvy. Welcome to the Cine-Ops Podcast. What is up with these curls, boy? All right. Welcome back to the Cine-Ops Podcast with Alvy. I'm Alvy. We do a synopsis of movies. Cinematic operations. I was in the military. Cinematic operations sounds like a job in the military. Cine-Ops. Play on words, synopsis. For the summer. Long story. Here we are. Every episode, we do a different movie. We're in the middle of a Rocky marathon. It's been a while, right? I had a lot going on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I gave up on a lot of stuff, and here we are. I'm back. This is one of my favorite things to do. Talk about movies with you guys. Maybe you like them. Maybe you hate me. It's all right. It's all right. It's all good. Happy Easter. Easter just happened. I hope everybody's doing good. What else is going on? Mario 2 came out. I took my kids. It was the first time in the movie theater. It was cool. It was awesome. All right. I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you. Thank you for liking and subscribing. You've been seeing my clips on TikTok or on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for giving me your time. You know what I mean? You could choose anything to watch. And you decided to spend it with me. So thank you. Thank you for that. We're in the middle of the Rocky Marathon, right? We did Rocky 1. I did Rocky 1. But I did Rocky 1 years ago. I was still in the military. So I was still in the military. I got out in 2021. So I must have done Rocky in 2020. Right? I did Rocky. I did Rambo in 2020. Wasn't doing sequels. Now we're doing sequels. Right? We did Rocky 2. In Rocky 1, he's kind of a nobody boxer who gets the chance of a lifetime to fight the best boxer in the world. He doesn't win, but he went the distance, something that nobody else was able to do before. That gave him the rematch of Rocky 2. In Rocky 2, they wanted, hey, I can't lose. Apollo Creed said, I can't lose like this. I can't lose to a guy like this. Let me give him the rematch. Rocky locked in, handled it, won the rematch. Rocky 3, he's been doing a couple of fights. He's been pro for a little while. Somebody accused him of cherry picking his fights, not being a real boxer to fight real fighters. And it was Mr. T, Clubber Lang. He challenges him. He loses. Mick dies. He locks in. He wins. Because Apollo Creed from the second movie helps him train, helps him regain his eye of the tiger to beat Clubber Lang in Rocky 3. That's where we last left off Rocky. He won against Mr. T. He's cool with Apollo Creed. He got his edge back. He did it. He's winning. And that's right where we pick off in Rocky. That's right where we pick up in Rocky 4. Rocky's good. He's retired. Right? He's good. Everybody's good. He has money. Apollo Creed has money. Everything is good. And on the news, and then this was in the 80s. Right? I wasn't around then, but it was a bit of a Russia v. the U.S., a tale as old as time. And that's what they kind of play on in the movie. So Rocky, he's a retired professional. Apollo Creed, he's a retired professional. And here comes an amateur boxer, right? Russia's saying, we have an amateur boxer that is so good, he's better than professional boxers in America. Pro boxers. Amateur. Better than pro. Because he's Russian. Because whatever. So this is on the news. This is on the press. Rocky and Apollo, they're kind of like, oh, that's funny. That's cool. Everything's good with them, right? Because they're retired. They have money. They have their family. They have everything they could want, right? Right? When you have everything that you want, there's always a little something else, huh? There's always a little something else that you need. And this is the problem with Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed, he lost the last fight against Rocky. He's retired. He used to be the best. He's kind of like, nobody's really talked to him about him in a while. He hasn't been able to show his stuff. And now comes this really great amateur boxer, Dolph Lundgren, what's his name? Comes out of Russia, and they want to do an exhibition match, right? They want to do it with Rocky, but Apollo Creed, he gets in Rocky's ear and he's asking him, "Hey, Rock, how about for old time's sake, let me fight him. I just need a little spark. I need a little something. Get some of this angst out just to remind myself, remind the crowd who I am. Come on, Rock." And then, Rocky, he's kind of like, come on, Apollo. We're not spring chickens. We're older guys, right? We're older. We're retired. This isn't, this kid's probably like 6'4", machine, bro. He's a machine. He's like, come on, Apollo. Come on, Rock, come on. Right? He talks to Rock. He tells him the truth. He's like, look, bro, this is how I feel. I need this. And then Rocky's like, all right, well, yeah, all right. He lets him do it. And then, we see a little montage of this amateur boxer, right? And this guy's 6'4", blonde, hair straight up like the boy from Street Fighter. And his boy's lethal. Hey, this guy's the real deal. They're doing they have like a lot of guys in lab coats, right? They got lab coats. They're monitoring the way his nipples sweat when he's boxing or whatever it is. He's in a lab. He has a lab that's training him. He has scientists. They got meters, right? They got the meters with the heart rate monitors on them and everything like that. And then, they're talking him up. They're like, an average American boxer has, let me see, what's a Russian accent? Привет, Kadina. Привет. An average, привет. So the Russian guys, he's like, an average American boxer has 700 PSI, right? Whatever. He's like, per punch, PSIs is this much, 700. And they're like, Drago, why don't you show them a little something? Right? The lead scientist is just like bragging on him, glazing him. He's like, Drago, why don't you show him the power? Right? He punches a thing, boom. 1800. The machine is like, wow, 1800. New score. 1800. So they're like, oh my God, what? How can this be? And they're like, wow, this guy's a real deal. And they're having the talks, because they're like, well, they kind of bring up something steroids, and they're like, no, we don't need that. Look, we've been training this guy forever. We don't need that. We don't do steroids. All right, you don't do steroids, all right. And then we see him training, right? No. And then we see the movie's pretty quick pace, right? We're close to the middle already. Drago's ready to go, right? This dude's a machine. He's wearing a military uniform everywhere he goes. So Apollo talks Rocky into it. And it's to the day of the fight. And Dolph, what's his name? Dolph? Or Drago? He's there. He's ready. This dude's like the Terminator, right? Just, he'd be turning real slow. Steel blue eyes. Blonde hair. And he's ready. He's ready to go. No emotion. And then Apollo Creed comes in, right? And he has James Brown. He has American flags. He has band. He has a band. It's a party. And it's the American flag, and it's America versus Russia, right? That's what this embodies, right? And he's loud. He's dancing. He's having fun. He's having a good time. He came out of retirement to do the exhibition match. He's happy. He's like, I'm going to show this guy what I got. I'm still strong. I'm still fast. This is going to be good. They get to it, right? They get to it. The fight starts. The round starts. Apollo hits him. Boom, dude doesn't even move. It's like hitting, like, Dolph Lundgren doesn't even move. I don't even think, like, when he punches him in the face, he doesn't even like turn like that. He just like, and then Drago hits him, right? Boom. It's like a steel beam. Boom, cracking his ribs, punching him in the nose. Apollo, he's older. He didn't want to believe this. He's older. He's taking a beating. He's dazed. A few rounds go by, he's dazed. He's like, okay, all right. But he's trying to play it off like, I still got it. I can still do it. But it's not looking good. And Rocky's like, Apollo, come on, man. Because Rocky's the corner man. He's like, Rock, come on. I got throw in the towel, man. I'm calling it. We got to do it. And then the refs and everybody, they're like, hey, this is supposed to be an exhibition match. Right? It's just for show. It's just for fun. Why are you guys trying to kill each other? And Drago says, if he dies, he dies. Das Vidania. If he dies, he dies. Which means, if he dies, hey, he signed it. He signed the paperwork. And Apollo Creed to Rocky, he's like, no matter what you do, don't throw in the towel. And Apollo Creed, he goes back out there. And he's, right, his eyes are swollen shut. He gives his hands up. Boom. Right? Drago's just punching straight through his guard. He's trying to keep his hands up. Punch straight through his guard. Boom. Crash. Cram. Boom. And Apollo falls. Boom. He falls lifeless to the canvas. And Apollo Creed died in the ring. Right? And everybody's like, no. The crowd is like, no. Rocky's like, no, Apollo. Right? Drago just walks off, didn't even feel a thing. Probably wasn't the first time he did that. He walks off, and everybody's like, no, Apollo Creed, no. And Rocky lost another friend. And that's when, right, so after everything settles, right, a few days after, everybody's hurt. Everybody's devastated. And Rocky decides, you know what? I got to handle this. I got to handle this for my friend Apollo Creed. I got to go over here. I'm going to agree to whatever terms they want. And I'm going to smash your boy. I'm going to smash your boy. So Rocky talks to them. They talk to the boxing commission or whatever, the managers. And he's like, I want a rematch. I need to settle the score. And he agrees to the terms. He agrees to whatever terms they have, which was fighting in Russia. And he says, you know what? The trains that when they ask him, like, what do they want? He's like, hey, all I need, give me a cabin out in the mountains with the barn, with a barn with wood in it. Or I don't know. His demands for the training equipment were very minimal. Whatever's in the barn. Find a cabin with a barn in it, in the mountain. Don't even check. Just give me that. I was like, all right. They give him that. Right? And he's super sad. Paulie, Adrian's there. They're always his buddies, right? Adrian loves him. His kids are a little bit bigger. Everything was good. You know what I mean? His life was good. He was home with his kids, his wife. They had money. They had everything they needed. And the decision they made, right? Apollo needed a little this. He needed this. And it led to this, and it led to this. And now they lost him. They lost Apollo, their buddy. They were buds. Yeah, you can't think of the Rocky movies without Apollo. Apollo Creed is just as important, if not more important, to the Rocky movies than Rocky himself. And we lost Apollo. Right, so he gets to Russia. Right, he locks in. He gets to the cabin. He's in the mountains. He's in the snow. And he locks in. Training montage. And it shows Rocky training. It shows Ivan Drago training. Right? And Rocky, he comes out of the house. He's wearing snow gear. He just starts running in the snow. And then it shows Drago. He's in the gym. He got the guys with the lab coats. They're monitoring his nipples, the way he runs. And he's running, right? Everything's perfect. He got the team of scientists with him. He's training, right? He's doing the hamstring, right? Working the quad, doing the squats, doing the thing, right? He's doing like this bicycle pedal, right? He's hitting the machine kind of like that. And then Rocky's in the bar and hitting the speed bag. And then the dude is, what is he doing? He's like lifting some stainless steel weights, right? Calibrated plates. And then Rocky's in the barn deadlifting the wagon up. He's deadlifting hay bales, right? He's deadlifting hay bales. He's doing it. He's sweating. He's sad. He's jumping rope in the dust. Drago's got the scientist with him. And real quick, in Drago's montage, we see a scientist with a syringe. Boom, straight into the butt cheek. Steroids. right? He was like, hey, nah, we don't need steroids. Real quick, they show you steroids. He's doing steroids. He's cheating. The guy that beat up Apollo, he was cheating. Right? He's doing steroids. He's doing squats. He's running in there. And then Rocky, he's training right. He's training hard. Boom, he's doing pull-ups. He's lifting up his family in the wagon, doing dips and all that. And he's running up the mountain, right? And the Russian agents that were there to kind of like make sure that he has everything he needs, they're watching him or whatever, they're chasing him in the Cadillac, right? To the point to where like they can't drive in the snow, but Rocky's running harder and faster. He gets to the top of the mountain. Apollo. Oh no, who's he go? Drago. Ivan Drago. One second, I gotta rewatch the fight. So it's the day of the fight. I had to rewatch it real quick. And they're there. They're both there. He's there to avenge Apollo. Drago. Just another day. It's just another Russian day. And when the fight starts, Rocky is so, right? He's so angry. He's so upset, full of angst, whatever it is, that he runs into the fight, right? Runs out of his corner and gets clocked right away, right? Drago's like, bro, I'm one of the strongest. One of the strongest, one of the best to ever do it. This is what I think Drago's thinking, like, well, this is what I do on a daily. This is what I've been trained to do by scientists. Right? I do this on the daily, right? Boom, punches him right away. And Rocky keeps running into these punches, right? He keeps his hands open like this, like, boom, run into these punches. Drago's like, whatever, bro. Hands up to him, right? He's handing him his fist. Hands him straight to his mouth. And the thing is, yeah, Drago is a machine. He can deliver these punishing blows. But our boy Rock, he could take a beating like nobody on earth. That's his superpower. And he runs into these punches. He's getting beat up. And he's hitting back. Boom, he's hitting back. And what starts to happen is that Drago, using all his technique and power to beat down Rocky, is wearing him out. And ultimately, that's Rocky's technique, is to like, oh, if this dude beats me so bad, there'll be nothing left. I mean, I don't know if that's what he went in thinking, but that's ultimately what happens, right? And Rocky's getting some hits off to the point to where like, oh, Drago hasn't been able to knock this dude out. He killed Apollo in 5 rounds. Now they're on the 6th round, right? And they're both tired. They're on the 7th round. They're on the 8th round, and they're tired, right? They're swishing out their mouth. They're spitting out their whatever it is. They're exhausted. But the thing is, Rocky's good at being exhausted. He's good at taking a beating. He's done that before. That's what he's done most of his life. Drago, this is probably the worst Drago's ever been. This is the worst he's ever been beaten up. Right? And they're fighting. Boom. And they're giving it their all, right? And you remember, oh, this guy's on steroids. He's so strong. And Rocky's just full of rage and he needs to avenge his friend. Right? And they're fighting each other. Boom. They wanna quit. You can see the exhaustion. Right? Drago wants to quit. Rocky, his body probably wants to quit, but his heart keeps going. That's what it is. His heart, Rocky's heart. His heart keeps going. And he's punching them. They're bleeding. They're spitting. They're quitting. They're punching each other. Boom. Rocky gets rocked. Drago gets rocked. Rocky gets rocked. And one last one. Right hook to Drago's face. Boom. Drago, boom, it falls, bro. And when the Russian scientists and the crew, they see that, they're like, no. They've never seen him fall before. And they know. When they saw Drago fall for the first time, it's over. Rocky falls all the time, gets back up. So Rocky wins. Drago's down, Rocky wins. And they're like, Rocky, you did it. You did it, Rocky. 4 movies in a row, you did it. And they're like, I just remember in Apollo. And the fight ends and the crowd, they come in, they grab Rocky. And they wrap him in the American flag. And he's like all beat up. And he's wrapped in the American flag. And then he gives like a little speech. They're like, hey, Rocky, what do you think? But it's in Russian, right? So they're translating for him. And then he's kind of doing the thing like, right? He was kind of pretty much saying like, he came over here, he didn't really know what to think. The relationship between America and Russia and this and that. But he said, we were just 2 guys trying to kill each other. But that was better than 20 mil or, having a full-on war and everything like that. And then he kind of talked about how maybe he felt a certain way And he's like, but I changed, and if I can change, then we can change, and then we could all change, right? And it was like this big moment. They're like, yeah, Rock, you're the best. That was Rocky 4. Rocky versus Ivan Drago, U.S. versus Russia. He did it again. He avenged his friend. That's all really he was trying to do. Right? Yeah, it was representing America. He was representing America, but he did it for Apollo. This concludes. This is the end of the Rocky Marathon. It took a while, but we did the 4 Rockies. At least the first 4. It took a while, but we did the first 4 Rockies. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you guys want to hear next. I love you guys. I'm Albie, the Cine-Ops Podcast. Like, share. Hey, if you could share, all right, that'd be cool. If you could share, whatever it is, man. Like, subscribe, share, comment. All right, stay safe.